$1 million a year selling a product is not a lot of money. A lot of people think that you're rich, you're rolling in it, you're a millionaire. That is just not true. Product businesses operate on very thin margins. At the end of the day, most of these businesses are operating on a 10, maybe 20% profit margin. That means for every dollar they make, 20 cents is profit. So if you make $1 million a year, you have $200,000 in profit. That's a little less than 20K a month. You can live a healthy life on that, don't get me wrong, but I ain't a millionaire. I know this because I've lived this. And then when you decide to start growing and become an 8-figure business to jump up to 10 million a year in sales, you make even less money. I swear it feels like I'm eating top ramen and can't afford to pay the bills, even though we're doing $2-3 million a year. It is crazy to me. But it's because you start increasing your overhead before your sales increase. So when you hear people say like, oh, we're doing $1 million a year, $2 million a year, they ain't millionaires. And I'm telling you from my own experience, I am not a millionaire in terms of cash flow. Absolutely not. My business uses up so much of it. And now that we're trying to grow to 8 figures, it's just, I have even less because I'm pumping those profits back into people and products and marketing. And I have even less to take out of the business. Let me share with you how we budget so you can understand where the money goes. Because you might be thinking, 20%, 10% margin, Evan, you suck. I'm like, yeah, well, I agree. I'm still learning. But let me explain. 20% of every dollar that we make gets reinvested into cost of goods sold or buying inventory. 25% of every dollar that we make goes directly to sales and marketing. So already that's 45%, half of the business profits. Another 25% goes towards salaries. Salaries, just paying people. Okay, so now we're at 70%. Whew, getting tight. We haven't even talked about shipping and fulfillment yet. Oh, that's 15%. So now we're at 85. 85% of our sales have been spent. And then we have processing fees, which comes out to about 7%. So now we're at 92%. Now we have 8% margin left over. 8%. If we're doing $1 million a year, that's $80,000 in profit. That's a little bit less than $8,000 a month. It's like $6,000 a month in profit, making $1 million a year. You see what I mean? Now, you could decrease marketing spend. You could decrease your shipping and fulfillment costs by working on it. You could decrease the amount that you're paying people and you could fire everybody and make more money and do everything yourself. But how do you grow? Because at a certain point, one person can only do so much. So then you need to hire and bring people in. And then it squeezes your margin even more. You need to buy more inventory, squeezes your margin. You need to advertise more and efficiency goes down and it squeezes your margin. And that's why making the jump from 7 to 8 figures, 1 million to 10 million, feels like you're just broke. And I can speak from experience. We're making that jump right now and it is brutal. It is brutal. I feel like I have no money. I'm not even paying myself. I just can't afford to. Isn't that crazy? To be bringing in almost $3 million a year in sales and not have enough left over to pay yourself? I think it's bananas. But it's all part of the greater plan for 2 reasons. 1, I am developing people and building an asset that will generate cash flow. And if we continue down this trajectory, the cash that we can generate from this business is much more than what it would be at $1 million a year. 2nd, I want to own a 9-figure e-commerce brand. That's 100 million in sales. In order to get there, I first need to master 6 figures, then 7 figures, then 8 figures, and then I can start working on 9 figures. I want it. And I know there's no shortcuts. In order to get there, I have to master people. I have to get good at people. I have to be able to get results through others, and I have to become the leader that is able to motivate people to get them to do what I want to do. And that right there is hard. In and of itself, it's a journey. How do you motivate people to build for you? How does it even work? You know, you hear people say, oh, you need to create a vision so big that other people can fit their vision inside it. Yeah, but what the flip does that mean? I'm just now starting to figure it out. It means that you need to figure out what your employees want, and then you need to show them how you can get them what they want by helping you build what you want to build. For example, one of my workers wants a house, $350,000, 3-bedroom, 2-bath house on 2 acres. Okay, cool. How much is that mortgage going to cost? $2,200? Great. What's the debt to income ratio requirements? 40%? All right, cool. So you need to be making $5,500, $6,000 a month in take home, in salary, to be able to afford that house. Right now, your current pay is $4,000 a month. How can we create enough value through your position that I can justify paying you $6,000 a month, a $2,000 a month increase? Well, if you're going to get an increase of $2,000 a month, we need to create value in the business somehow. that means we either need to bring in $200,000 worth of value, and typically we can afford to pay 5% of the value that's brought into the business based on the profit margin. So if they add an extra $100,000 a month in revenue, I can afford to give them $5,000 a month. So we kind of work backwards from there. 2,000. Okay, so yeah, you need to bring in around $40,000, $50,000 a month in additional business monthly for me to be able to justify giving you a $2,000 a month raise. Another way that we can approach this is save the business $10,000 a month, and I can afford to give you that extra $2,000 a month. So there's a couple different levers you can pull, but what it really comes down to is showing your people how you can help them get what they want by building what you want to build. And that is just what I am focused on right now. It's what I'm struggling with because it's hard. It's not easy, but I know that given enough time and enough reps, it's something that we can figure out. And I see other business owners that have figured it out. So why can't I figure it out? Why can't you figure it out? You absolutely can. It's just a matter of applying effort in the right areas. So I bring this up to say, $1 million a year in sales isn't all strawberries and orgasms all day long. It's just not that great. It's just a different type of earning. However, we are building assets that are the most valuable type of assets in the world. In my opinion, the most valuable companies in the world sell products. I mean, don't get me started on insurance and finance, but technically those are products, right? They're just products that don't have to be fulfilled. So when you hear somebody talking about, oh, I've got $1 million a year, just remember, they're probably taking home 1 to 200K if they're exceptionally skilled, maybe 300K. But when you make that jump from $1 million to 10 million, just know your income is going to go down most likely because the business needs more of your attention, needs more of your time, and most importantly, it needs more of your money. I'm sharing this with you because I want to shed light on what I believe to be true, because there's a lot of people out there who make it seem like it's all profits all the time, and it is not. It is difficult, but it turns you into a person capable of doing exceptional things. And that's the real goal. The goal is to see how long you can play the game and how far you can take it, not how much money you can make in the short term. At least for me, that is. If you want to hang out with us and do this together, check out my membership. That's why I put it together. This is a lonely game. It is hard. Do you see why I put together a membership now? This is a lonely, difficult game, and we need each other. We need each other to stair step and work our way up. You can do it alone. It's just not fun. It sucks because I've done it. Doing it with people, it makes it bearable. It makes it bearable and it creates lifelong friendships because we've suffered through something difficult together. I'll see you on the inside.